Fine. So we completed very basic API by using the return type, the specific model. What we are return type, that specific model we have added over here. But we don't do like this. Okay. Sometimes we do also, but we don't do like this. We have to return something else. Okay. Now, we had another model now. So I'm creating second controller for the city CRUD. Okay. API city. City only, no? Yeah. Okay. Make sure like class name, if the class name is city master model name, choose something else. Your class name, model name, and the controller name should not be same. Okay. Now, so again, the dependency injection, what we need, let's copy, paste it over here, your controller name. Now, public, sorry, HTTP get I action result. Okay. Now, so I action result, it's a class. Okay. Let me write, then we will go to definition, get all city list. So if I go over here, go to definition, you know, in Angular also, if you want to go to a function definition, you have go to definition just like that. So go to definition. It will take some time for the first time. So see, what is this I action result? What is this I action result?
Interface.
Interface. Okay. So in Angular, we have interface. There, the meaning of interface is something else. But here, the meaning of interface is something else. We will see that after some days because it needs all the OOPS concept. Okay. Just like we have class now, just like that, we have interface also. In Angular, we have class, we create interface. Same like that. Here also, we have class or interface. But interface, we just declare method name. We don't have the implementation in the interface. Okay, wherever we are implementing the interface, there we have to implement something. Okay, now, so it's a base class where if you go like this, there is no specific return type. You can return anything. See the difference? Instead of I action rate, let's say I said list of city master. Okay, see the difference between these two. If your return type is this, you can only return the data type of this only. Okay, if the return type is this, you can only return the list of city master. You cannot you cannot return true, string, return list of student master, anything. It will only allow you to return the this type only. But if it is I action result, it's a base class. Now you can return anything. You can return anything. Either you can return a string value, boolean value, city master list, state master list, anything you can return. Okay, see now, where list is equal to underscore context dot city master dot to list. We got the list, return list. Okay, it is giving me error. Why it is saying list is null here? Okay, so here you can see cannot implicitly convert list into I action result. Okay, so now what is the return type? I action result. So whenever you are returning your API return type is I action result, you have to return with the status, you know, okay, 500, not found, created, the API method. Whenever you hit the API, you know, different types of the return types you get. What are the different return types you get from the API? API status. In Angular, what do we know? How many return type status we can have? If you are hitting the API, what different status you can get in Angular?
Successful 200,
200, 201, 400, 500, correct? 403, unauthorized. So many different types.
200 also. 200.
200 for created, success. So just like that. So here you have to return that status, return OK. And inside OK, you can pass the data also. Getting it? OK means 200. Okay. So if you are using the iAction result, you have to return the status code. And along with the status code, you can send the data. See, here I am returning the city list. Let's say where stud list underscore context dot student master dot to list. I can return anything. Returning is not specific. Any type of data you can return. See, it's not giving error. Why this is giving error? Okay, sorry. Understood? There is no specific restriction like what type of data you can return when it is iAction result. But you should return it along with the status code. 500, okay, not found, whatever. Getting it? So this is what normally we use. We don't use this specific return type because we should return the specific data type also. Means return type. Is it okay? Is it a created 500, 400 according to the if and else condition, right? We have to return different API status. So iAction result we use. Let's see the theoretical definition of it. You also do the same thing. Okay. Whatever the new things you are able to get, try to ask ChatGPT, what is this? What is this? Like that, one by one thing you will be able to explore. What's this? ASP.NET Core. See, it's an interface that represent result of an action. Means what type of result you can return from your action. Nothing but that method. Okay. This basically we got it from the MVC. In MVC also it was there. So see, different types of HTTP responses you can send. 200. If you want to return 200, okay. If you want to return bad 100, when do we use bad 100? When do we use 400?
When request is
Request is wrong.
when wrong.
Right? What object API expect, and you are not sending as per that. Correct? So you will get 400. Not found. When do we use not found? Not
URL
found.
mismatch.
No, not found. If
Method not found.
let's say you have a record with uh, parameter PAN card and you are trying to find the record with that PAN card. If you pass the PAN card which doesn't exist, so we will return not found. Okay. In a single API, get by ID, get employee by ID also. If you pass the ID which is not exist, you will get not found. Unauthorized. When do we use this? In case of token, if your APIs are authenticated and if you don't pass the token in the header, you will get unauthorized. Okay, like this. So different. Okay, created. If your API is the post API, you can use created, bad request, unauthorized, not content, status code 500. Okay, so many different types of APIs are there. See, if you are checking the return type, if the ID is not equal to 0, invalid request. If it is null, we can return the not found like this. Okay. Difference. iAction result versus the returning model. What I said initially, instead of having the actual return like this, what is the difference? Right? So if you have the model like this, it always returns the 200. You don't have control over the status, right? Because your return type is the model itself. So always, if it is success error, always it will return 200. Okay. But if your return type is iAction result, you have the control over the status. What status you are returning. Understood? Clear everyone? Why we should go for iAction result? Because we get to play with the status code. Okay. Now, so this is our gate API. We'll return this. Now the post API. So HTTP post. create new city. Now, while adding city, I want to write a code that if the city name is already exist, I have to give the warning to the Angular side. Whatever the city name you pass, that already exists. I should not have the duplicate city name. This is my requirement. How you will check that? What will be your logic? I don't need the code. What will be your logic? City name should be unique. Okay. So what will be your logic? How you will make sure that city name should not be repeated? Understood my question? We have a
We'll
city
check
name,
city
right?
name in DB and
Yes.
then
Right? We have to check if whatever the city name you are passing is already exist or not. If not exist, we will create. Otherwise, we will return some error. Correct? That is the logic, na? So we need to check if the city name already exists or not. So where is city exist is equal to underscore context dot city master dot. We have three method: single or default, first or default, or find is also there. Okay, all behave the same. Single or default, if it got multiple record, it will break. First or default, even if it got multiple record, it will return the first only. It won't break. Find, I need to check this. I think I also didn't use it. Finds
Well,
and
find
return.
also identified first thing only, sir. It's not
But
fully searchable. The
it
find
works
is
with
only
the
for the
primary
first
key.
occurrence.
No, it works with the
Yeah,
prime
first
key.
occurrence only. Yeah.
See, see, first single or default, it doesn't work with the your primary key. You can pass anything, name, anything, right? ID also you can pass, but find it works with your primary key only. Here you don't have to pass object dot ID. Getting it? So find always expect primary key itself. Understood? So with first single or default, you have to pass in, you can pass anything. You can compare with name, mobile number, anything. But find, you have to pass just the primary key itself from the model. Okay. But here we have to check it with the city name. So we can't use find. We'll use single or default. Okay. X equal to X dot city name equal to obj dot city name. So this query, what it will does, what will be the relevant SQL query? Whatever the line we have written, what will be the relevant SQL query? Select star from
select to star
your
from
table
city
where
mark.
city
Where
name is equal to whatever the city name you pass. Okay, this will be the query. So if the city name is already there, we will get the city name. Otherwise, it will be null. Okay. So if single or default got the record, here we will have the record. If it didn't get the record with the city name, it will be null. Okay. So here you add the null check. If is city exist equal to null means we don't have the matching record already. So we can create new record. So underscore context dot city master dot add your add logic and obj whole object you will pass. Then underscore context dot save changes. Okay. And here return created. You are creating new record now. So we have status that is created. Message city created, and you can pass the object also, the updated object also. Message and the object also you can pass. Okay. In else, now what we should return? If the city name is already exist, what should we
Not
return?
found.
Not found is not there. Now we are, this API is
Already
returning
exist.
some warning
Already
now.
existing.
already
Hmm?
Already existing.
it is already used.
No, but I'm asking status. What status? We have to return the status, na?
Yes.
It should not be success. It should be error, na? So what error? 400 is also there. 500 is also there. Is 500 will work over here? Is API breaking?
500 is server error, right?
Yeah, means whenever your API break, then 500. So can we use 500 over here? No, because API is not breaking. We are getting warning. So warning 400, 400 invalid body. Can we use 400 invalid body? Because the model you are passing has some validation error or something. You didn't pass the correct model, means because CTNM already exists. Okay. So return, what is the relevant for 400? Okay.
400 bad
Bad
request.
request. Okay. Bad request, and here you can pass the error. Key city name already exist. Now in Angular side, what will happen? If the already existing city name you pass now, your catch block will execute. And in error, you will get this message. But if it is success, your success block will execute. Understood? Like this, things happen. So, when you have something unique, if you pass the existing record, your catch block will execute. This is how it executes. From the API, we return bad request or the success. Clear? This is how we maintain the uniqueness of particular property. When we are creating, we check if the data is already there with that specific value or not. If yes, we allow to create, otherwise we will return the specific error. Understood? Okay. Clear, everyone? Now, in student master again. Let's say you have a big student form, and in student name, let's say PAN card, we have to keep it unique. So every time when you save, user will fill whole form. On click of save, you will get the warning, right? Let's say you have a form. Once student name already, you enter the PAN card number and you click on, means you have a form. Once you enter the PAN card number and you move out to the text box, there only you should get the detail. This student is already exists with this PAN card. Why we will ask user to fill the remaining information, and on click of save, we will show the error. That is unnecessary, right? If the student name is already, if the student record is already existed with that PAN card, once he provided the PAN card, there only we should show the error, right? Getting the scenario what I'm saying? Try to imagine you have a form, and in form you have 20 field, and third field is the PAN card, right? You after clicking on the save, you are getting the error like student information with this PAN card already exists. What we did over here basically, here we are checking just like that. Let's say in your save API you have the same logic, but instead of doing it on the save, you ask user to fill the whole form. But instead of that, once user provided the PAN card, there also you could have make the API call, and from API we will get to know if this PAN card information already exists or not. Correct? Is it possible? We can check that. So
Yes.
we need a API for that. Yes or no? Because UI won't, and
Yes,
UI
sir.
doesn't have the data, na? API has the data, right? So we can write a logic there to check if the PAN card what you are entering is already exist or not. Okay. So it should be get or post that API. Get only, na? What parameter you are going to get? What parameter you need to this API? Only PAN card string information, correct? Let's say I will return true or false. Is PAN exist. Okay. So here you will pass the string request. PAN card. And here you will check the logic is exist underscore context dot student master dot single or default m dot PAN card equal to whatever the PAN card you passed, if it is there. So if this is not null, what you will return? You will return this is not exist, so you will return true. Okay. If it is written exist, you will return false, vice versa. So in Angular side, you will write the code like that. Understood? So in Angular side, you will write the code. Once this API call you will make on the blur of the PAN card. Once PAN card user has provided the PAN card, you will pass the PAN card to this API. API will let you know this PAN card is already exist or not. So user won't fill the remaining information. He will get the idea that this student record is already filled. Understood? Clear or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like this, we create very small according to the requirement. We create so many small APIs. Okay. Clear? So according to the status step also, we needed true or false. Here instead of a bool, we can use the action result also, and then okay and not found we can return. That is also there. Clear, everyone? Okay. Now, what was there? You know that exception handling. What do we say exception handling? What is exception handling? In Angular also, no, we have exception handling. How do we do exception handling in Angular?
Try catch.
Try catch.
Try catch block, right? So whatever the code we have, we put it in the try catch, and if something happens, we handle it in the catch block, correct? So here also we have it. So HTTP get, or let's check it in the student. So let's say we want to create a API where what properties we have in a student? Active. So we want to get all the student who are active. Okay. In student table, we have an active field, right? So we want to get the list of all students who are active. So we want the API for that. Okay. Okay. Now I have created a controller for student master. I have created a controller for city master. Can I create that student API, which will get you all the active student in over here in city controller? Can I create the student related API in city controller?
Yeah, we can do that.
We
Based
can
on
do
the
it. Anywhere, anything you can write, but obviously the name itself is city master, so we should not create. Okay, we will create over here. So HTTP get round bracket get active students. Now this will return single or multiple? Multiple, no?
Multiple.
Public I action result. Okay. Now, so here we have to write. Let's say in JavaScript and in Angular, you have an array. And from that array, you want to find the student which are active. How do you get the result? How do you filter it? In JavaScript.
you can use the filter method.
Filter method, right? Filter method gets you multiple record matching with the condition. Same we have it over here. List underscore context dot student master dot where. So there we have filter. Here we have where. Same code. Remaining code is same. M dot is active is equal to true. This piece of code will be same over there also. Here also it is same. Okay, you get the list of multiple record. So single or default, find, first or default, all will return only one element. But where will return multiple element? Whatever the condition you are passing now, it will return the multiple element. Okay, so return. Okay, and you can pass the list. Okay, so this is your normal API. But let's say there is some error. Your database connection string is wrong. Something is error in model. In your model, you don't have this property in your database, and here you have written. So something error will be there. So your API will break over here. So to handle that, we write try catch. Okay. So our code will go over here in the try catch try block. If anything's break over here, it will go to the catch block. So here again we can have exception also. Exception EX. Okay. Now return. What is that 500? What is the status for 500?
server issue.
Status code server issue or no status code. So see in over here you can see we are returning okay, created, bad request, or you can return the specific status code also. So we have status code and what status code you want to return 500. Okay, then you can pass your message. So message like exception only you can pass. So exception dot message, whatever the exception is there. So either you can return the specific status code like this, okay, not found, or you can use the status code also, and here you can pass the status code. This is also okay. So these are the multiple ways you can return. Either your return type, you can return a specific model like this, or you can return the specific status type, okay, not found, right? Created, or you can use the status code, and here you can find, here you can pass the actual value. See here also status code 200 and the data. This is also you can do. Understood?
Chetan, if we want to throw the exception while city master like that is type, how we can do that instead of status code?
Instead of status code means the relative method you are saying now.
Huh.
I think for 500 we don't have like this. See, for 200 we have okay, 201 created. Just like that for 500 server error we don't have. That's why status code is there. Let's try to ask.
Okay.
Just like okay created. Do we have for server error? Does have the option status code? No, we don't have specific. Okay, we just have specific
Yeah.
return type okay created. But if it is API is breaking, you have to use the status code itself. We don't have any shortcut like this. Okay.
Okay.
Understood? Clear all? So multiple ways to return. Either you can use the status code, or you can have okay created not found like that also, or you can return the model also like that. Clear? So while practicing, how you will practice? Create one table. In one table, you will return all the model itself like this. Like this. In another model, you use the created, bad request, okay. In another controller, you play with the status code. So you will practice on all the things. So 3 controller you create and all the different ways. Again, one more is there. where we return our own object. Okay, clear till now? Anyone
Yes, sir.
have any
Sir,
doubt?
actually, in that case, how can we use finally, sir? One try catch and finally one
Yeah,
more there,
finally
right?
is also there.
So what is use of this one, sir, for this scenario?
Let's say logger. If everything is, this is also every time either your try block will execute or catch block execute, finally will always execute, right? Means if API is success or break, your finally will always execute. So here we keep our code related to logger on something. Something we have to write once try and catch block is executed. So logger or some checks we add it over here also. Okay. So try, catch, finally. In JavaScript also we have finally or we have try, catch. Do we have final over there also?
Yeah.
I didn't use. I'm asking you guys. Do we have finally in
Yeah,
JavaScript also?
yeah. Finally is yes.
Okay, right. So whatever the meaning we have or behavior we have it over there, same behavior we will have it over here also.
Okay.
Okay. You are mute.
Sir, I have one question over here.
Yeah, who was having question?
Hello.
Yeah, Niket.
Yeah, I am Aniket. Can you go up little bit above?
Hmm.
Here, sir, for single or default,
Hmm.
we are using that. If we got a single value
Hmm.
or if the array or a table is empty, will we get a
See,
exception or
we
it
will
will default?
test it properly. You will understand the difference between single or default and first or default also. Let's open the database.
For first or default, I know, sir, it will give our first default
Hmm.
value if it is
Wait.
not there.
We'll continue now. Let's say city master. I'm adding duplicate record. Okay, no, city na student master. So I'm creating one more record with the same PAN card. Okay.
No, sir, not for the same. Like if
Wait.
we are searching for,
Yeah. Wait. Let me cover everything. I will. Hold on. Okay. Now in the table we have two records with the same PAN card. Okay. See now how your API behaves. If you check this API, same PAN card I'm passing. Okay. Now in the table, we have two records with the same PAN card and we are using single or default. Single or default expect only one record. If it got multiple record, it will break. See how does it break also. See it break. What it is saying? Sequence contain more than one element. Whenever you are writing single or default, if whatever the condition you pass, if multiple record match that condition, it will break over here. Okay. So see, your API breaks now. To handle it, we should have try catch block. So if I add the try catch block, just hold on, Aniket, I'm covering everything. Try, catch. You understood how it breaks? So it should not break like that. We should return the specific model, right? Specific error message.
yes,
So that's why we need this. Exception EX. Okay. And return status code. Okay. We have to use action result now. Okay, return status code, let's say 500. Okay, and whatever the exception we have, exception dot message. Okay, and here status code or return okay, true, and here not found. No existing record found. Okay. Now it won't break. It will go to the exception block. So having use of the try catch. Previously it break on the same line, right? Sorry. Let me copy this. Now see. See, it goes to the exception blocks. Whenever any of the code breaks from over here, it will go to your exception block. Understood? That's the use of try catch. If any of the code breaks, it will go to your exception block. And you are returning the exception, why it breaks. Now, UI. On the UI side, you can show the exact message, why it breaks. Okay, it helps in debugging. Then you can send this message. If you are a UI person, you can send this message to the API team. Like I'm getting this message, sequence contains more than one element in the catch block. Then he will understand there might be already existing record with the condition, whatever we are passing. Duplicate record we have. So that's why try catch block plays very important role. We should show the exact message, like why it breaks. Correct? So that's why try catch block is important. Understood? See, now you get the error, why it is breaking. Then API team can debug it properly. But if you are breaking it, if you don't have try catch block, it will just return 500. It won't return the specific message why it is breaking or something. But if you have try catch, API won't break, and you can actually return the specific message also why it is breaking. Understood the importance of try catch?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, just like single or default, we have first or default. See the difference now. I'm getting the same line, but instead of it, I'm using first or default. Okay. See what happens now. Execute. So see, in database with this PAN card, we have two records. First record is Chetan and second record is Poonam. Okay. Two students has the same record, same PAN card available. So see what happens now. We are using first or default. Which record we got? The first one, Chetan. Understood? Use of first or default. Whatever condition you pass, how many, let it be 10 record, 15 record, it will always return the first record only. Clear? It won't break. Okay? Understood? The use case of single or default and first or default. So now when you will use single or default and when you will use first or default?
When we have multiple
Yeah, but
data with the
what will be scenario? If you know key duplicate thing you have already handled, so you will go for single record. When you know key you are supposed to only get the single record, then you will use single or default. But let's say some multiple whatever the condition you are passing, multiple records will be there, but you need just the first record, right? So you will go for first or
yeah.
default. Okay. Now another scenario.
Mostly for
Hmm.
primary key that work for the single or default, right? When
Yes,
we pass primary key ID.
we hardly use first or default. We always go for single or default. But we have scenarios where we have to use this also. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
With primary key only we use it normally. But with this also, if you know like this is not going to be duplicate record, so you can use this also. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if we pass the record which is not there, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we don't have any student record with the PAN card or this, right? We don't have any record with the 1, 2, 3, 4 PAN card. So execute. What we will get? Null. See, In single or default also and first or default also, if the record doesn't exist, we will get null over here. Okay. So it will go to else block and it will return the specific error message. Not found. Understood?
Yes.
That was your question, Aniket?
Yeah. So
Okay.
for single or report, it will also send null, right?
Null only. If it found, it will return. Otherwise, it will be null only. Okay. Let's say this get all active student. We will test this. Execute true. So we got 3 students which are active. See, 1, 1, 1. If we, let's say we don't have any record. Now what I will get in my API? I don't have any active record. So now what I will get? What will be the return response return type?
Null.
No, empty. Null is a different thing, na? Empty, na? In JavaScript, if you have an array, what is the return type of filter? In JavaScript array, if you use filter and the whatever the condition you pass, records are not there in your array. What you get? Do you get null or undefined?
Empty array.
Empty array you get, right? So same behavior we have. So single or default, first or default, find, return null. If the record is not there, filter where always returns the empty array. If record is there, it will return array. If record is not there, it will return empty array. Okay. Try to relate it with your JavaScript. Then you will, because means once you do all the practice, you will get the hands-on. But till that time, try to relate it with your JavaScript. How does array method work? Same thing happens over here. What we had over there, find. Here we have 3, single or default, first or default, or find. What do we have filter over there? Here we have where. Understood? Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's say in JavaScript, we have an array of student and I want to get all the student which name starting with C. How do we do that in JavaScript? I want to get all the element from the array where student names start with C. How do we write? Milen. Virkani. How do we filter the array where we name student name start with C in JavaScript in Angular? Array?
Unship.
No.
Starts with we use.
Start with have na. Let's say you have an array. So how do we write it? Where data array dot filter your m equal to m dot stud name dot starts with, and you can pass C over here. You will get all the record where student name start with C. Yes or no? This is how we write now. So if we have to do the same thing over here, we want to write an API which will get all the record with the matching character. Okay, I'm copy pasting now. Get student with start character. Okay. So here we need character. Let's say string starting char. Either sometimes say he will pass single character, sometimes he will pass 2 characters. So that's why I'm going with string, not going with char. So student master, where we have to use, because multiple records we will have. So where? So just like over there you write now. So here you will write student name dot starts with, same thing you have it, and you will pass your stud char. Understood? one more bracket. Same thing it is there. This was your JavaScript. Same thing, we have it over here. Let's say you want the content in between wherever you have. Okay. Content list. So you have contents. Okay. Let's say you want the record ending with that specific. Ending with. So just like start with, we have ends with. Okay. Understood? Do we have something in JavaScript for ends with? So what is parallel with content in JavaScript? Do we have content in JavaScript?
Includes.
Include.
Include.
Okay. So as I said, like whatever you can do with one programming language, same thing you can do with another programming language also. It's almost same. Little bit syntax will be different. Logic stays the same. Logic doesn't change according to your programming, right? But here code is also almost same. Consider this is your array. This is your filter method. Inside code is the same only. Okay. Understood? We are just playing with this. We are not saying new topic because you should get your mind about this. How do we do the same thing over there? How do we do the same thing over here? There we are playing with the array. Here we are playing the records from the database. We are all. So try to imagine scenarios like this and try to write the API. Okay. You should think how many scenarios, just like I am taking one or two scenarios. There are multiple scenarios. What if, let's say I want to check student name. Let's say you have a table where city also there and state is also there. Now you want to check the students from Maharashtra and city is Nagpur. So two parameter you will need like this. And then where you will add multiple condition where city is equal to this and state is equal to this. Try to create multiple scenarios like this. Okay. Getting the idea how we write the queries over here. So we don't need SQL queries. We are communicating with the database, but with the model in an object-oriented way. Okay. Clear, everyone?
Chetan, what is that link queue?
Yeah, this is nothing but link queue query. We are writing the queries with the link queue. This where again SQL to link queue queries is also there. If you want to use the join, right? You'll see that. Fine. So we'll stop for today. Complete whatever we are doing. Create your own scenarios again and do the practice. Again, I'm repeating again and again. Do the practice. Otherwise, this will totally go into waste. Okay. Practice is the only thing. Otherwise, this content is already there on YouTube. You can do the same thing, but again, one way, two way it is there. They won't explain in this much detail, but you have to do the practice. Then only whatever I'm explaining, whatever the energy I'm putting, that will convert into something. Okay. Otherwise, it is like pravachan only. I have explained, you have listened, that's it. Nothing will turn out good. Okay. Ask
So
them.
now
Yeah, go ahead.
in real time, I saw that every method will contain async await in the
Right.
method.
We will see that async await also, why we have to use async await. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
Fine. See, one more point I was saying, why I'm saying you have to be full stack. Okay. So many people are there who are just Angular developer, even though they are immediate joiner, they are still waiting for the calls only. Or some are getting call, but somehow they are not clearing, or somehow position on getting on hold, right? If not right now, at least there are jobs for Angular, but trust me, or after 1 year, you cannot expect that there will be jobs for Angular only. Is it possible that we can have always jobs only for the Angular? Or let's not always. After 1 year, is it really possible that we can only have jobs only for Angular or React? Will company hire only if you know the Angular? Because AI is there. If you know the basic thing also, you can write the API with the AI, right? If you know the basic of the .NET, you can write all the API with the help of AI. Everything you can write, right? So all the companies are going to be looking for full stack developers only. No one will hire you if you are just limited with the one technology. So this is the starting what we are doing to be ready for the next 5 years. Otherwise, there will be very tough times. Okay. So do the practice. Fine. Ping me if anyone face any issue. Again, if you have some scenarios, you think of something, but you are not able to get it, ping me. Okay. I'm working from home only, so we can connect anytime. Whenever you ping, I can start the meeting and we can connect. That's what you have paid me for. Okay. Whenever you have issue, you can ping me, we will connect. Don't hesitate to ping me. Don't hesitate to see the time. Anytime you can ping me. Okay. Fine. Let's
Yes.
connect tomorrow.